Hello and welcome to the Garden of the Black Roses. Dreams of the Undead, Arc 1, Chapter 6, The Tournament, Yugi's Point of View. It has been a trying week. Yami and Atemu haven't exactly been happy with my new protectors. Every lunch I am escorted by one of the three so I can feed the two. More often than not, I get molested in the process and need to be rescued. Joey's werewolf form scared the crap out of me when he threw Yami at Atemu before picking me up and bounding down the stairs before I had a chance to heal. Kaiba told me he would have a chat with the two vampires. Scarily enough, he is part of the same vampire council that they are. He goes by the name Seth on the council. He said that he wouldn't let anything happen to his King of Games. He was a big help for me after the incident, and I owe Kaiba a lot. Which reminds me. Kaiba. The CEO sat with his fingers laced in front of his face, looking deep in thought. I was sitting in his office because Kaiba had given me a place to stay in his mansion to protect me from the two wayward vampires. My friends trust him. Joey more so than the other two, for which I am grateful. I've been keeping his brother Mokuba company most evenings while he works. He barely lifted his head to look at me. Think he might be thinking on what I'm about to ask. What is it, Yugi? I'm going to be in Tokyo for a month for the tournament. Yes, Kaiba finally lifted his head to look up at me. Then won't that drive the two mad because they can't feed? Not my problem. I looked at Kaiba a little shocked. I had learned that Kaiba was the priest, Seth, in Atemu and Yami's time, and was subservient to them before. He had become more modernized as time went on. They may get antsy without me there to feed them. I trailed off because I know Kaiba is hearing the worry in my voice. I think he knows I'm worried about being kidnapped by them mid-tournament. It's not good for Kaiba Corp to lose their star performer, the King of Games. I'll think of something. Kaiba's gruff voice didn't sound reassuring. I've booked hotel rooms for you and your three friends to stay for the duration of the tournament. Pup wanted to enter, for once. He said he wanted to go up against you again. That sounds like Joey, I agreed with a smile. I'm sorry for putting you through so much, Kaiba. It's no trouble at all. Kaiba waved his hand dismissively at me. My cousin needs to get with the times and stop living in the past. I've been trying for centuries, but it hasn't sunk in. I'm just lucky you knew me before meeting them. I think you would be suspicious of my motives if I offered this out of the blue. I'm suspicious regardless, I deadpanned. Kaiba laughed at that. He knew I was playing with him. Seriously though, I don't understand about Heba. Why are they so insistent that I'm him? Everything about you screams Heba, Kaiba replied softly. Heba was a very gentle soul that managed to soften Atemu's rough personality. He covertly made everything better for Egypt by making Atemu see he was harming his people rather than helping. The two were shocked to say the least when Heba killed himself. They told me how and why briefly. I think that you are Heba as well, Kaiba explained. But I also think that you don't have your memories because Heba doesn't want to be near them as a lover until he is certain that they truly love him. From what you've told me, how you feel being near them, it makes sense. Yami and Atemu have warped their sense of love and think that because you are Heba, that they can continue where they left off. But the soul of Heba within you wants them to see you for you, not for who you once was. I think I understand. I was actually very confused. I'm me, no one else. Of course I would want someone I'm with to see me as me. Isn't that the case for everybody? Do they know about my past? As in the incident? Kaiba asked. I nodded. He shook his head. Not unless you want them to. I shook my head. I know how you feel. They won't listen to why you need the distance. All they want is Heba. He sounded pissed off when he said that last sentence. Part of me agreed with the sentiment. I love tournaments. It gives me the chance to help beginners improve their game and provides the best distraction against unwanted memories. And I have a lot of those at the moment. The incident, the vampires, my twin brother. Why is it that the bad memories seem to want to make themselves known more than the good? Yugi. Kaiba's hand had taken mine and was guiding me towards the tournament area. Pup is dueling. Thought you'd like to watch. He waited until I caught up with him before adding, You look like you were lost in your thoughts. The anniversary's coming up, I reminded him softly. He let go of my hand and gave me an affirming grunt. We'll be back in Domino before it, right? Yes, unless something happens to severely delay the tournament, we will definitely be back in time for the anniversary. I could tell Kaiba was looking at me sympathetically. You still don't say his name. Does it still hurt? He was taken from me. I choked, trying to keep my emotions from spilling out of my eyes. It hurts to hear his name from those two so often. I found it interesting too. I looked up at him curiously. You and your twin, Yugi and Heba. Both of your names meaning game in two different languages. Yet, out of the two of you, the divine aura was strongest in you. Also, out of the two of you, Yami and Otemu's slave lover's aura is strongest in you. At times I wonder if your twin was a part of Heba from the past. What do you mean? I was only just keeping up with the confusing conversation. Well, like I mentioned before, the Heba of the past probably doesn't want to be with or even near the two unless he was certain that they truly loved him. It is possible that, before he was reincarnated, he decided to split his soul to ensure that at least part of himself is protected. He looked away, trying to think of another topic to get away from this one. I looked away. My eyes fell on the mini practice arena. My Valentine, another pro duelist, was working the room. Part of my association with Kaiba Corp is my employment as a duelist teacher. During tournaments run by Industrial Illusions, Kaiba Corp, or Schroeder Corp, they have mini practice arenas where rookie duelists come to learn tips, tricks, and strategies from pro duelists. There's currently 8 of us hired, and there is always one manning the room 24/7 in 6-hour shifts. Mai, Joey, Rebecca, Leon, Vivian, Malik, Ro, and myself. Kaiba doesn't bother teaching rookies. He usually has his hands full with managing tournaments and his company. My Valentine is a blonde American duelist who is known as the Mistress of the Harpy in dueling circles. She is the top-ranked duelist in America. She's kind of like a big sister to me. Joey's known as the underdog. He's able to pull spectacular saves and luck out of his ass when it looks like all is lost. Rebecca Hawkins and Vivian Wong are 2 duelists I don't particularly like. Both have a tendency to try and amputate my arm whenever they see me. Rebecca is the youngest regional champion in America, but she is always outmatched by Mai. She is also the granddaughter of my grandpa's best friend. Vivian, on the other hand, is the top-ranked duelist of China. They both seem to want me to be their partner, like an official queen of games by extension of dating the king of games. Not happening. Case you are curious, Rebecca's duelist title is Life Stealer / Healer, depending on who you talk to, and Vivian's title is the Lady of Martial Arts. Leon von Schroeder is the top duelist of Russia, and younger brother to Siegfried von Schroeder, who is CEO of Schroeder Corp. He's known as the Storyteller due to his fairy tale deck. He's about Rebecca's age and is attracted to her. I hope she notices his feelings soon. He is the reason Industrial Illusions, Kyber Corp, Schroeder Corp, and Black Clown Industries have a business alliance when it comes to duel monsters. Because of the size of the project, he suggested a division of management between the 4 major companies rather than fight with each other. Industrial Illusions manages all card creations and game balance. Kyber Corp manages all the technical work, such as tweaking the holographic arenas for the tournaments and player management, including histories and deck design. Schroeder Corp manages merchandise production, so everything from portable gaming systems to plushies and stationery. Lastly, Black Clown Industries manages and creates offshoot games from duel monsters. The 2 hits currently are Capsule Monsters and Dungeon Dice Monsters. Just so you know, Duke Devlin is the CEO of Black Clown Industries. He tends to run mini tournaments for Capsule Monsters and Dungeon Dice Monsters. He doesn't usually run the big card game tournaments. He does have a mini room at the big tournaments at times to introduce people to the offshoot games. But I've jumped from where I was. Malik is called the Tomb Keeper, I suppose due to where he lives, and he's the top-ranked duelist of Egypt. Yugioh got the title of Tomb Raider. I don't know why his fans chose that. And he's the top-ranked duelist of England. They are like my brothers in gaming. Whenever there is a tournament, Kyber ensures that the 3 of us have a hotel room together. This tournament would be the first that I am across the hall in a room with Kyber. I don't know how I would explain if one of my vampires decided to kidnap me in the middle of the night. Then there's me, the king of games. Sometimes I get called Dark Magician, as he is one of my trump cards. Kyber's title is the Master of the Blue Eyes, due to his deck holding 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Kyber doesn't like anyone calling him by his first name. He told me that it reminds him too much of his past. The titles were something that pro duelists receive when they rise to fame and popularity. Mine is the only official title. The rest are fan-given and utilized when promotions are run for duel monster-related events. The 4 companies thought that if a duelist is given a fan title, then there is no reason not to use it to its fullest potential. Yugi! Speaking of my brothers, a platinum blonde and albino were walking next to me and trying to get my attention. Sorry, Malik. The platinum blonde looked relieved. I answered him. I was thinking of things that were back in Domino. Yugioh and I are going to be staying with you before we head home, he informed me. Kyber has arranged for us to spend a month holiday after the tournament. He lowered his voice and added, he felt you might want some company after the anniversary. He alluded to some issues in Domino that may make trouble. Yeah, I sighed. Like me, both Malik and Yugioh are part angel. Unlike me, they have their wings. Malik has soft golden feathers, while Yugioh has 1 white and 1 black, almost like his favourite change of heart card. A pair of vampires have claimed me as theirs. I touched his collar lightly. They don't take no or even listen to my wishes. I constantly feel like I'm a blood bag and a sex toy around them. Both Malik and Rio grabbed my arms in shock, forcing me to stop walking. Kaiba took a few more steps ahead before turning back to watch us. Sex toy? Rio asked quietly. The full deal or molesting? Mainly molesting, I replied with a defeated sigh, though Atemu has come close to taking me by force, at least twice. Yami always refuses to touch me when Atemu starts trying. You never told me that, Yugi, Kaiba said sternly. My cousin cannot break the King of Games. You'll become a lifeless doll again. It was difficult to bring you back the first time. I don't want to find out how hard it will be if it happens again. Little did I know, I would be becoming a doll again soon. And that's it. A very info-heavy chapter. When I originally wrote this, it was supposed to be like Yugi was supposed to be like just thinking and his thoughts of, I don't know if you've ever had it where you're like thinking about one thing and then you just drift off into lots of different scenarios and ideas and thoughts, and it's like that was supposed to be the whole feel of it. Actually reading it out loud now, it sort of feels like that, but it also doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, I wrote this a long time ago, like 2015, so my writing has changed. If you want to hear the difference in how I write, listen to Magic of Moonlight. It's a werewolf story, original story. That's how my writing style is more now in comparison to back then. But yeah, as always, remember, like and subscribe. Gotta like and subscribe. I need subscribers. I need, like, my numbers up. So if you do enjoy this, and if you do keep coming back to listen to these, please subscribe, because you'll get notified. Well, hopefully you'll get notified. And yeah, as always, let your imagination run wild. Bye for now.